Get the boat gassed up, saunter down to the dock. Put the Yeti in the back and she's ready to rock. It's a May River thing. It's a May River thing. It's a May River thing. Got the whole family down here. It's a May River thing. If you ain't got a boat, you can hitch a ride. I'm sure one of your buddies has a sensitive side. Pay for some gas, donate some brews. Better than sitting home singing the blues. You can probably squeeze in next to the ghost of Rufus Weaver. Of course there's room for y'all's golden retriever. It's a May River thing. It's a May River thing. It's a May River thing. We got the whole family down here. It's a May River thing. Coming round the corner, see the sandbar is packed. Dad's sporting beer bellies, moms are all jacked. Kids running around, not a phone in sight. Probably too tired for the iPad tonight.
Tim Wood back with Low Country Chronicle. Thrilled to once again talk to Justin Jarrett from LowcoSports.com, the authority for all things sports in the Low Country. Justin, how are you?
Hanging in there, man. It's crazy time right now. We're trying to figure out who's playing every night and who's on quarantine. So hopefully this thing dies down here in the next couple of weeks and we can get through the playoffs and everything, because it's been a wild ride here the last couple of weeks.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Just living the roller coaster. So you got a chance to meet the new coach at Bluffton High School. Tell us about him.
Yeah, I did. Hayden Gregory is your guy, coming from Collins Hill up near Atlanta, which a lot of people are familiar with that program if you follow college football recruiting, because number one recruit in the country came out of there this year, Travis Hunter, and he made the big announcement on signing day and flipped to Jackson State and Deion Sanders. So that name's been out there. And then they won the Georgia 7A state championship. And the interesting thing with Hayden is, first time head coach, but he's the son of the head coach there at Collins Hill. And so he's a guy who has been on his dad's staff the last 5 years, been learning the ropes. And I'm sure dad's going to give him kind of the blueprint for how you build a program and turn one around the way he did at Collins Hill. And, the other thing I think that's really encouraging for Bluffton is he's bringing somebody with him. He's bringing Jarrett Karkoff, who was also an assistant there and a baseball guy, actually pitched in the minors for a few years. That shows to me a little bit more commitment from the administration at Bluffton to really put a little bit more investment into the coaching staff. And to me, that's a great sign. I mean, I think they were going for an energy hire, and I think they got that with a young guy who, has the credentials that he's going to get the kids excited and hopefully get some of those kids out of the hallways and back on the sidelines.
So some folks thought maybe you'd get a local name here. So there were some folks who probably made sense, but I mean, he does have some ties to the Low Country.
Yeah, he does actually, and that was one of my questions. Was you always kind of ask yourself why here, why now? Why does this guy want to be here? Because you just that's one of the things you ask yourself when you're looking through resumes, even. And I wasn't sure what that connection was here, but at the press conference, he mentioned that the family's had a house at Fripp Island for about 20 years. And they've been coming down to the Low Country since he was a little boy. So he's always dreamed of living in this area and always kept an eye on coaching opportunities here. And he's just being humble, but he said he didn't anticipate he would get a call, let alone get the job. But he seems genuinely thrilled to have the opportunity. I was really impressed with the outpouring from the players at Collins Hill on Twitter and all the things they were saying about. We hate to lose great coaches, but we're so happy for you guys. That to me says a lot about the relationship he's built with his players there, and that's what he's going to have to do here, really, to get this program, back to where it has been in the past, is build deep relationships with the kids in the school and get them on the sidelines and get them into the weight room and into off-season training where they can get better and get back on par with some of the other schools in the area like May River and Buford.
What what hit you just from his press conference? I mean, did he seem like a first time coach? Did he say all the right things? I mean, what was your overall sense when you got to talk to him and what you saw at the press conference?
He's pretty polished, and I kind of expected that, knowing the son of a head coach, and he spent a couple years. Yeah, and he spent a couple of years as a student assistant at Mercer after his playing days. So he's a professional coach. He's been around. I'm sure Dad coached him a little bit on what you say at that intro presser, but he had it down. He was solid. He handled the questions well. I didn't, of course, grill him too hard. We're going to try to get him on the podcast and get a little bit more out of him soon. Yep. But I think he did say all the right things. I think he's got the right philosophy. He understands that they're going to have to, start to rebuild, really, and start from the ground up. He recognizes he's not going to have the kind of athletes he had at Collins Hill, but as he mentioned, the first kid he met in the hallway was Jalen Linder. And when you take a look at him, you go, oh, yeah, we got some athletes here.
Yeah.
So they've got some guys coming back. They've got Linder and Kamari Simmons, and then on defense, Jeremiah Curry and Jaquin Williams. So, they've got some talent coming back and some guys that they can work with. And, there's plenty of athleticism in elastic. We got Takoya Hayward on the low. Be important. And Hayden mentioned that he's a spread guy. They're going to run a spread offense, but did say that he's got to evaluate his personnel and kind of fit the offense to his personnel. And I think that's really important. I don't think you can come in as a new guy and just think, well, we're going to plug whatever pieces we've got into my offense and see what happens. But I do think they have good pieces for that. He likes Max von Hohenstraten, the quarterback, who showed a lot of potential this year, but also there's visible room for growth. And Jarrett Karkoff, the guy he's bringing with him, is good with quarterbacks, was an all-state quarterback himself. So, I think they're going to have to work on him fundamentally, getting his footwork more sound and just teaching him how to read the defense in their offense. But when you think about that, and you've got Linder and Simmons and Roderick Buxton, and you've got some serious speed, height, and athleticism there, that spread offense looks good. So I think the other part of that is the offensive line play has been a little lacking the last couple of years. And Hayden Gregory was the offensive line coach at Collins Hill. So I think that's a good thing that he may be able to instill some new techniques or different mentality on the offensive line, and maybe a switch to more of a spread look will also help them with their blocking schemes, it may be a little bit easier for them. So, I think there are a lot of things to work on, but I honestly think that program's a lot closer than the records over the past couple of years would indicate. Especially this year, the defense played really well, and they were in a lot of games. They just didn't finish them off.
How? I mean, is there a chance, or is it likely that he fills out the staff with whether it be guys part of Hop staff or maybe some alumni? I mean, a name that was floating around a lot was C.J. Frazier in terms of trying to get him back in the Bluffton High School fold. But I mean, is there a shot of getting some locals to fill out the staff?
Well, it sounds like he met with his staff, with the returning staff, the other day before the press conference, and he seemed and said he was really impressed with them. He said, "We have good football coaches here. I'm
Okay.
looking forward to working with these guys." So I get the impression that they're going to retain at least a good bit of the staff. Obviously, if guys don't work in the building, then they may look for other opportunities or something. But I would think the guys that are in the building, they're going to keep around and have that continuity, which is probably a good thing. I don't know that he'll keep everyone. Obviously, if he's adding someone, that may indicate that they're either expanding the staff or someone has already said that they're going elsewhere. But as far as CJ, I don't think CJ is coming right back from Ridgeland yet. I think he's got work to do there. He got the OC job there, and I think Rodney Barr is going to do something there. He's done it before other places, and I think CJ was a big get for him, and I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to let him go too easily. So CJ's got a bright future, though. He really does. Really good with quarterbacks, and inventive with the as an OC, and just a dynamic personality. I think he's going to be a really good coach for a long time.
One of those situations that makes us feel old, right? I mean, we covered him playing for
Big
Bluffton
time.
High. But it's just to see what he's done on the coaching side. It's spectacular. Um, in terms of what else is going on in the Lowco sports world, basketball's heating up right now, right?
Yep, lots of basketball and wrestling. The Bluffton girls are looking fantastic. We got Takoya Hayward on the Loco Hoops report this week, who has been just a pleasure to cover over the years. Started playing varsity in seventh grade, really broke out in the eighth grade, and now just a sophomore still. But the old soul over there, they got a bunch of sophomores who are really playing well. Very young team still, but a veteran young team, sitting at like 13-1 right now, and they haven't lost a region game since 2019, which is incredible.
Mind blowing.
I mean, to not even slip up once on the road is just remarkable, no matter who you're playing, and they're not playing chumps. I mean, you've got Beaufort, Hilton Head, Colleton County, James Island, Lucy Beckham, May River. There's good teams in the league. So, the big question with them is, can they do it in the playoffs? Because they've flamed out earlier than expected pretty much every year. But I think that maybe the cumulative experience is starting to build up enough now with that young group that they're going to be poised to make a little deeper run this year. I sure hope so, because I like those kids a lot. And Lonnie Roberts, I mean, gosh, what a tremendous guy and coach, and goes all the way back to the start of the school.
Oh yeah.
And I think he gets overlooked a lot when you talk about the coaches around here, as far as the longevity and the sustained success, the consistency that he has had there. Doesn't have the state championships or anything, but man, he's put a good product on the court for a long time.
And May River boys are on the boys
Yeah,
side.
the May River boys, they were looking really good, and they knocked off a couple of teams in region play, and were looking like they might make a push, and then ran into a little trouble this week. They lost a tough one to Lucy Beckham, and then they also lost to Beaufort last night, and Beaufort is a juggernaut right now, with the three guys 6'5" and bigger, who are really really dominant, the Dennisons and Zyron Odom. But May River's still, right there in the mix, 3-3 in region. They're going to be a playoff team for sure. And if you want to feel old again, Matt Lehman's little brother, James Lehman, now a senior and leading that team. So
Yep.
And he's a spitting image of Matty.
I
It's
mean,
something
when I
else to
saw the
see.
game, when I saw the broadcast, I was just like, what? Huh? Wait, am I in a time warp here?
Matt Lehman?
What?
Yeah,
What
no,
happened? Like it was an
it's
episode of Lost or something. I was like,
it's uncanny.
Yeah.
It's funny how so many years have passed, but I'm still hanging out with Bill Lehman, every now and then.
Yep. Hey, so for folks who don't, folks who might see this don't know in terms of Lowco Sports, how can folks? I mean, it's you need the community support here in terms of just in terms of driving what you do. How can folks get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're always looking for community sponsors, to sponsor our content on the website, to sponsor our podcast, as well as, just to advertise your business. We can market your business across all our platforms. And, we got a ton of different options for that. Very affordable options, I think, to reach a really loyal local audience, because we're only covering Beaufort, Jasper, and Colleton counties. So, we're not attracting clicks from everywhere else. It's all local eyeballs who care about the stuff that we're doing and care about the kids and will support the people who support them. So, get with me, lowcosports@gmail.com, LOWCO like low country. And, we can talk about sponsorships. And, if you're not in a position as a business owner or something like that, and you want to support, we also have a patreon.com/lowcosports. You donate a dollar or more per month, and you'll get access to exclusive content and some Lowco swag. And we appreciate you, Tim, because you're one of those big Patreon donors. Hitting the like $10 a month, man. We appreciate that. So, every little bit helps. We're trying to grow this thing and add more staff, because it's really just me and Wes Kerr right now carrying the load, and we've got a couple interns we're trying to show the ropes, but we need all the help we can get to try to grow this thing up and keep shining a light on the kids here in the Loco.
I'm just making up for lost time, man. I mean, I'm so impressed with what you're doing and the effort that you put in and just the heart that you put behind it. It's, from the minute I met you, it was obvious that you care and that you know your stuff, but that you care. You love to see the growth of the kids. And so, yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm making up for lost time, and I hope folks listen. It's the only place. It was the dominant place, but now it is literally, you want to get coverage, you want to see coverage of your school. It's lowcosports.com.
Yes, sir. That's what we're trying to do, and doing our best.
All right, sir. Thank you for the lowdown on Mr. Gregory, and for the lowdown on the playoffs heating up here in the winter, and we will talk to you next time down the road.
Sounds great. Go Loco.
The dark